Stonkmerica. Good morning, Stonkmerica. My name is Rocky Outcrop. Thank you so much for joining me here. We are going to be discussing all the good stuff, the final
in this space. No matter what, y'all so much for sticking around with me, man. Mad love. Now we're gonna do this shit.
There, we're going to do this shit.
You've got your
No data. Is it working again? I just switched my internet real quick. I just switched my internet. Is it working? It's back working. I hope it's working. We have audio. Have we got streaming connection? Yeah, we hear you. There we go. Okay, thank you so much. Good morning, Stonkmerica. Seriously appreciate every single one of you for being here and for sticking through that little bit of technical difficulty. So far this morning, what we've done is we've said hello and good morning. That's it. You've not missed a single thing. And I've got my man Reynaldo here, and he was just talking there a second ago about how if there was just, 20, 30 of us in the same room, we'd have such an amazing energy. And this is so true. And I want to say thank you all for sticking with me. Thank you so much for sticking with me. And let's do this shit.
I don't give a shit about that number, man, because I ride who I ride with, man. So thank y'all so much for sticking around with me, man. Mad love. Now we're going to do this shit.
Now we're going to do this shit. Just keeps getting better and better. Just keeps getting better, Reynaldo. So good. Everyone should check out this man. He's called Reynaldo Moreno.
You've got your mind made up.
We're going to be talking about GME today.
To see. I got you wondering why I'm smiling, looking like I'm dumb on knee. Said I've earned my chips, script in pain, all the while fighting your denial like I don't have a seat at the game. I guess I'm deranged, but I'm gonna hold. I've been down much longer than you have been gone. Keep on paying no mind. I'm setting up mine. You best believe I know my hands are diamond. Our future is shining. Yeah, my hands are diamond. Yeah, never bet against me. Don't do it. Don't do it. 'Cause all that money you spend to hedge your bet, but your mistake is my take from a play against your greed. Yes, I know you tried and conspired. Your degenerate ways on full display. It's a shame how foolhardy. I guess I'm deranged, but I'm gonna hold. Tick tock. I've been down much longer than you have been gone. I ain't scared of on throwing chips in. You know in the end, this hand's deeper than your money. Ooh, my hands are diamond. Yeah. My future is shining. Yeah. My hands are diamond. Every day, 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 I sing, you know, my hands are diamond. Never bet against me. I guess I'm deranged, but I'm gonna hold. Man, thank y'all very, very much.
Thank us very much. Thank you very much, Reynaldo. That was absolutely awesome. What a lovely and gentle, beautiful start to the morning. Talking about GME over there, talking about GameStop, talking about how this song is actually about way more, of course, than just the short squeeze. This song here is about life, okay? Anyway, that's a bit like, look at me, I'm all down here, and that's so low. And that song was like, you know, great, fantastic, but we're just waking up here in America. Maybe what we need is a bit more energy.
Rising up, back on the street, take my time, took my chances. Went the distance, now I'm back on my feet. Just a man and his will to survive. So many times it happens too fast. You change your passion for glory. Build your grits on a dream of the past. You must find, just keep them alive. Each day I am a tiger, it's the feel of the fight. Rising up to the challenge of our rivals. And the last known survivor stops just praying the night. And he's watching us all with the eye of a tiger.
Yeah, rising up, and we're back on our feet. Fuck yeah, time to start the day off. Here we go, everybody. Thanks so much for joining me. My name's Rocky Outcrop. This is, of course, Good Morning Stonkmerica, your morning financial show, keeping you right in the correct mindset for getting your day off on the right footing. We're going to be looking at all the good stuff. We're talking about this thing over here, of course, and various other stocks and crypto and commodities, Forex, whatever you're wanting. It is 40 minutes after the hour. It's been a lovely first start to the show, 10 minutes in here. Presented so far by Reynaldo Moreno, the musician, the man with the magic voice. What a legend, what a hero. And thanks so much to everybody for being here. Thank you so much for being here, including Reynaldo Moreno himself. Much love, brother. Thanks. It's good to see you. And it's good to see these stock prices over here right now doing kind of more or less what we thought they would do. Talking about things that we thought they would do, though. Of course, last night during the GME earnings call, we had people saying comments along the lines of, check a look at AMC. It's dumping. It's dumping. GME was dumping, AMC was dumping, GME was dumping, and AMC was dumping. Well, I suppose we'll have to go and check it out, because of course this was what they were saying. So AMC follows GME exactly. It has obviously no technical basis for anything that it does in its own right. Just look at this example over here. Clearly with this example over here, There's no reason for the AMC prices to drop, none whatsoever, of course, other than GME's earnings last night. I mean, we look at the stock charts over here for AMC's stock, we do technical analysis on it all the time, but we know that that's just a farce. In actual fact, this drop here was identical to the GME drop, and you can do it in very simple terms. I mean, it's like, if you don't believe me, just take a measurement from the top here. You can see that AMC dropped down, what, 3.6% yesterday to there, and it's trading at around about, well, that's not fair, is it? It's not exactly at that price that it's trading at. Let me just take this down to the pre-market price in here. So it dropped down yesterday exactly, whoa, that's a big percent, 7%, okay. And then GME over here, it dropped down, and it dropped down from its bit up there down to here. That's right about, let me see. So it's currently about 12.6% down. So as you can see, 7%, 12% down, more or less exactly the same. That ascending wedge there, that rising wedge, is just purely drawn on for comical purposes, and it's got nothing to do with the actual movements of the stock. So we'll just go back over and stick with what we know best, and that's, of course, making up spurious nonsense. It's got nothing to do with anything. Of course. Just kidding. Morning, Rocky, and all you beautiful folks watching. Good to see you, Amber. Is that picture of yours in the Discord that you're using a picture of you and your daughter together? Just wondering if that's what that is. That's pretty cool. If it is, Sarah Rastino, the energy that she's bringing all the time is always positive and fun. TradeSpawn, got to conserve that ranting energy. She says herself. So she's good. She knows about these things. This morning, great picture in the Discord from Ashley of the Garden, as ever. Gosh, Ashley has the most beautiful garden. Shout out to Ashley. Wonder if she liked me saying that sentence. Right. Okay. So anyhow, yeah, this thing, GME, we'll be taking a look at that. Of course, AMC, like I say, we'll be taking a look at that. There are technical reasons for this thing to move on its own. If you didn't catch it, that was a joke that I was making earlier on, based on the sort of comments that you read around the internets when you're doing your whole jobby wobs and all the rest of it. Other things that we can take a look at, like popular stocks that we like to look at from time to time, include the likes of AMMAT over here, Applied Materials, MMAT. We've got people in the Discord or in the community here trading this thing currently. Pulled back down to the 50 simple period moving average there on that one, as we can see. So that's happened. What else have we got that we're talking about? Oh, BlackBerry. This is one that I'm quite curious about, right? Because you'll remember that I made a prediction with this price, didn't I? Do you remember? Did you all remember watching that one? Remember watching that show when I made that prediction with the prices? Let's try and find that at some point. We'll also have news, etc. on the show. So, right, cool. So were we talking? Was it here that I said that there was no? That actually happened already. That one. There was a flash on this, in here, and it's the candle after, and here we had it. So we did it. Did we do it? Did we do it perfectly? Did we do it perfectly, ladies and gentlemen? Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, we said that the prices would definitely come back to here, was it? I'm not sure exactly what we said, but that one seems to have happened anyway. And yet again, more proof, if you've ever needed it, of the flash of this thing. Is that what I was looking at? Because I remember I wrote it out, but I seem to have deleted it off of my chart, what I wrote. So I'll maybe have to look back at around about the sort of 25th, 26th, 27th of August or something and see that episode that I did. Because I'm sure we made a prediction on this one and it's probably come true. And if it hasn't come true yet, then remind me what it was, because it'll probably almost certainly come true. So that's one to keep an eye out for. Other things, we've not taken a look at this particular so-called meme stock in some time over here. This is Nokia connecting people. I remember the adverts that Nokia had on the TV whenever they introduced the fascia. Do you just remember the fascia? Nokia fascia. So it was what allowed you to change the cover of your 3210 or whatever to a slightly different color. Sounds like a good time to pick up some shares, says Vivenna. Palardog, you said something about it dropping back to 1013. Was that what it was? 1013. Thanks, Palardog. Right, so there's something about that then. So it's obviously not gone as low as 1013 quite yet. We're at 1038 10:38 currently. 10:38 currently. Where's 10:13 at? Was it here? Is that where 10:13 is? So was that the candle I was looking at? Oh yeah, of course, there it is there. All right. Yeah, sound. So well, excellent. So whatever it was, Palardog, do you remember then? Do you remember, Palardog, if you remember the prices that I said it was going back down to, what price it was at the time that I said it, based off of no technical analysis at all, really? Well, I mean, it's impossible for me to say that because I can't look at a chart without doing technical analysis like that in my head. Let's be honest, right? But but the proposition that I made was based off of no technical analysis other than the thing that I invented, which is not spoken about anywhere else in the world, which is perhaps the most accurate technical analysis indicator that's ever been invented or discovered of all time ever. And it's by me here on this show. And what are we doing? We're actually peer reviewing it all the time live. And this is part of that peer review right now. So pretty neat, isn't it? Palardog, if you remember what the price was when I said that, let me and everyone else know in the chat at the time. I mean, presumably, because this candle is on here, it was somewhere up above that. It was in the $11 range at the time, Rocky Outcrop. Thanks so much, Palardog. So it was up above $10. It wasn't like I was saying that here when we were at 10.45 that the prices are going back to 10.13 and I've waited for this to happen to now start putting myself a pat in the back. No, the chat was at the time that this has gone up, could and probably would continue to go up a wee bit, offering everybody in this zone a time to short it if they wanted to get back down to these prices. So at any point from when I said that till now, you're in profit. If you have been following along with that particular trade, and I'm not a financial advisor, so I certainly didn't tell you to do that by any means at all. This is education and research that we're doing. This quite literally is research, this one. This isn't some sort of wording that I'm using to get past some sort of ruling based on semantics. No. This was actually proper research that we're doing here. Perhaps the only place in the world where live financial technical analysis research to discover something new has happened with a live audience in the history of technical analysts as well. It's a brand new thing to be doing this in an open source way like this with everybody. Brand new, as far as I'm aware, brand new. There are instances where you've got things like the caretaker, and shout out to him if he tunes in again, who makes indicators for Eric Crown. Well, makes them for himself, but Eric Crown uses them because they're good. And I like the guy. I like Eric Crown, and I like caretaker. Fantastic, really intelligent and good at making indicators. He makes his own ones. So maybe I'm stealing some of that sort of thing, but I'm making my own one here based off of something, and we're doing it together. And I don't know. We're talking about it, critiquing it with the willingness to say that we're wrong, and that's pretty cool. I think that's neat. I'm not out there saying that this is a completed thing. I'm out there saying let's do this together. I'm so proud of Rocky and his invention. Thanks so much, TradesPod. Yeah, cheers, man. I'm proud of it too. Right, anyway, it's now 50 minutes after the hour. In 10 minutes time, we'll be talking about a little bit of news. I don't have tons of news today to talk about, but that'll be something that we're doing. I don't have a caller lined up. I don't have a caller lined up quite yet. I was thinking about who would I like to have on the call? Who would I like to have on the call recently? And I thought actually that I was thinking about this. Who would I like to have on the call? And Jimmy and I have run courses in classes inside the Discord recently for folks, and at the end of those classes we say, has anybody got a question? And one person has asked the question a couple of times, and it's Iriam from the chat in here. So if you ever see Iriam or whatever and I'll ask her in the Discord, maybe she'd like to come on one time and ask a couple of questions, because at the end of those classes, when I've asked if anybody wants to ask a question, she's come forward with a good question to ask at the time, a couple of times. So that's something I thought about, and we could do that maybe sometime, but we'll be having more callers and all that stuff in the future. Just maybe, probably, most likely not today, because I've not set any of that up. So what else will we be talking about as well today will be, I suppose, checking in with that cryptocurrency crash that happened there. So first off, actually, let's just go and take a look at how the Bitcoin dominance has been getting on. And over here, what do we see? Lo and behold, the Bitcoin dominance has dropped to $40%. 40%. Ooh, a number that Rocky Outcrop said the Bitcoin dominance might drop to when it was up here at 49%. Oh, jeepers creepers. And then obviously I was aiming for 44 at that point. Then from 44 aimed down to 40. Now, this isn't something that you trade, right? This isn't something that you trade, but it's a chart here nevertheless. Oh, Dan Lesage, crashy, 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 yummy discount. Thanks so much, Dan, for the 5. Really appreciated. 5 live. 5, good luck, 5. So we've made it down to 40. Wow, technical analysis seems to work. That's cool, but there's been implications from this. And I think this is people tune into this channel for the unique insights that we have on the markets. Some of those unique insights are just simply that, unique insights. They're not necessarily anything in and of themselves intrinsically predictive necessarily all the time. But here's a couple of unique insights for us. We talked about this coming down to 40, and we talked about the implications of that. First off, obviously looking for a more or less continued rise up during the first initial phase of that change anyway, in terms of the Bitcoin pricing, so that the total market cap would continue to rise. And we talked about how we wanted to see things like Ethereum, etc., manage to maybe push a little bit higher up compared to their Bitcoin comparisons. And we've seen really in this recent time that a lot of alts have actually done quite well against Bitcoin, and for the result of this overall to be that the total market cap could stay above 2 trillion. Now, I wrote a sort of kind of bullshitty article, not bullshit there, the other day, but it was the sort of thing that you see on news websites, but better than any of those ones. And we were talking about where we could go to. Now, I'm not too sure if I just kind of got so carried away writing this article over here that I went on to mention, or if I did it or if I didn't mention it, but I'm nearly a 10,000 billion% sure, guaranteed, definitely. And if I didn't say it, then I don't know why I didn't, that I'd have mentioned the fact that we'd come in to retest the 50 simple moving average after having a crossover here. I'm pretty damn sure I would have said that. I'm pretty damn sure that this whole article about me putting in chat about altcoins, etc., and the market cap, etc., of the total market cap and everything, and how this could maybe be there as a safe haven against crashes in the equities market. I'm pretty sure that before I did that, I talked about how this could go down here and retest this area. If I didn't, then I regret not doing so. But it's sort of, this is one of these things that's typical of me. As you can see, we dropped down, tested this, what was the 618 area from the previous layout, and then of course moved back up above the 236 and the 50% line of that, the 786. In fact, what did I just remove there? 786. Oh, that thing. The 786 of the thing. So are we still in an okay position? Yeah, well, actually, we still are in an okay position. Now, this is obviously puts in the sort of the fears into people, and you can see in terms of the Donchian channel here, daily time frame, that we're right here at that 50% area. I mean, it's easy enough in terms of thinking about things, because you can't actually trade this chart really itself. Well, you can, I think, in some ways, but it's not like a thing that it's everywhere. We might be seeing things, if they flick below that 50 level, go down and retest 2 trillion again. It's 2 trillion obviously being a key number here for us to be remaining above. So that's a big deal. Gold dropped a little bit there, by the way. That happened. So yeah, and then there's been a couple of interesting ones. So we've got 5 minutes before we get to the top of the hour. A couple of interesting ones from the world of cryptocurrency. So here's Cardano. It dropped a good chunk down, went right down to back to where that liquidity box was on the charts over here. What did it do? Tested the 50 simple moving average. It happened. It happened. Now, the 50 simple moving average was tested on this Cardano chart when we saw a test of the 50 simple moving average on the total chart after having had a cross of the moving averages here between the two of them in a period when Bitcoin itself looked like it had become overextended, but it had continued to rise up the way, pull back down. Anyhow, those are the end results. Those are those insights into the markets, like putting things into context, letting you understand what kind of effect that we're really seeing here, so you can actually understand. It's none of this. Please don't occupy my visual space with chat about things like, oh, what are the hedge funds doing with their cryptocurrency and all that crap. Because the people who are writing these stories and talking about this shit don't know what the fuck they're talking about. So don't bring it to me, because I can't be arsed talking about it. by the way. So anyway, that's where we are with that one. We can check in with more cryptocurrencies. So we've obviously got like some darlings of the show, Chainlink being one of them. Where did it go to? Went to 36. Our target, 36. Where's the arrow pointing to? 36. What happened? It went to 36. Where was this? This was a wedge. What happened from this wedge? It broke up. What did it break up to? It broke up to 36. What happened at 36? It turned around from 36. Where did it go to when it turned around from 36? It dropped back down to what? What's that? 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 That's the 50 simple moving average. What's that? Also a retest of that wedge. Whoa, what did that happen? When did that happen? Why did that happen? It happened. It happened. It happened. We went down to $24. $24? $24, you say? Is that the price that we spent so much time at on the way up here? On the way up, is that the time price that we spent so much time price at? Is that the price we spent so much time at on the way up here that we dropped back down to? Yes, 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 it is. That's that. That's exactly that. That happened. That's what happened with that one, by the way. Oh my god, is that visible on the Ichimoku cloud? Yes, it is. That's why it's how it works. There you go. Now you know. Don't say you don't know. Other ones that we want to take a look at maybe are some of these rising star ones. So you got near USDT, for example. Boom, hello. That was a bit of a fucking surprise, tell you what. Then you've got other ones as well, like the lovely ALGO USDT. So this one's gone up as well. Tony Wright, my good friend, and Crypto Techno Cool Analysis friend over here having a great interest in this particular coin. Now, why did this go up when the others went down? Well, let's be very clear here, by the way. Let's be very fucking clear here so that you don't make any mistakes. This also tested the 50 simple period moving average. Let's just write that in again. This also tested the 50 period moving average. This also tested it. This also tested it. So far, its recovery has been a lot better, and it's had some of that sort of the stronger get stronger. So the simplest answer to people who've been asking this question over the last wee while is that there's a phrase from within the world of trading. Now, I've said it in the past, I've said it a lot of times, and I'll continue to say it, and I'll say it again in the future many, many times, and I'll say it today, right now as well, and that is, of course, that the strong get stronger and the weak get weaker. That's kind of the way that you look to things. Now, in these markets, when you see these big expansion contractions, that some of them did worse than others, and that they were outliers, maybe they would maybe be the ones to look to for like a bigger retracement towards the top side, with a quicker recovery, having had a harder fail. And that's very true. That often happens. It's very true. It often happens. But also in terms of like just a simple rule of thumb that when things are going one way, that the strength is where the strength is, that people put strength after strength. That's just basically how it goes. How do you know that that's the case? Well, just think about your own gosh darn trading before you ever got into anything at all, ever. What did you do? You bought the top. Well, what happens in these markets? Well, they're buying the top, aren't they? But then somebody else is buying the top after that. Somebody else is buying the top after that. That is basically the simple logistics behind the stronger get stronger and the weaker get weaker. Just be aware of that. It's something we've talked about numerous times. These simple truths remain true all the time. We made it round to the top of the hour. Thanks so much for joining me. Really do appreciate you being here. Absolutely do. I hope you're having a really lovely day. It's really great to see all of to see you here. It really is. Thank you so much for joining me. And I would like to ask you, if you haven't already hit the like button, to hit the like button. It helps people know that this is something that people hit the like button on. YouTube has a metric, which is how many people hit the like button. And by hitting the like button, you make it so that that metric is higher. That's essentially all it is. There's no magic to it. It's no hocus pocus. That's all it is. Generation Ape. Boom. Thanks so much. How does the legal issues affecting XRP impact technical analysis? Thanks for everything you and TradeSpawn do. Protected me from some significant crypto losses. Wow, that's absolutely fantastic. And I really do appreciate you dropping in that £50 Generation Ape. We'll get around to talking about that in just a second. Well, actually, tell you what, we can talk about that for just a second before we go on to any news stuff, because we're a bit light on news today. Anyway, yes, legend, says TradeSpawn. Absolutely agree. Thank you so much, Generation Ape. Well, the legal issues do affect XRP. They actually do, but it's been a long-running thing with XRP. Now, XRP is more affected as a general rule, or has been, as over its course of its lifetime, by the people who set it up, dumping onto the market and manipulating their own price. I mean, that's what one of the legal issues is. Right, that's one of the legal issues is hey guys, you've been doing this, you've been doing a wee bit naughties over here, you've been a wee bit naughty with this thing over here, guys. Why be so naughty? Those are legal issues, so they absolutely do affect it. Now you can see then at the same time it's hard to say whether or not this these sorts of volatilities modes that we see with this thing are indeed purely affected by the by like legal issues. you know. But you see in here, September 2018, the prices were 26 cents, and then later on that month they were 79 cents, so it'd gone up, you know, 300%. Then it dropped back down. Where did it go down to 28 cents? What was that by December 18? So in that less than that 6 months time frame, it had a 300% rise and a 60% loss and whatever else, whatever, you know, whatever those numbers are, and then and that sort of thing. So this is just one of these things that happens with this coin in general. And that's, of course, it's like the SEC's like, oh, you can't be doing this necessarily all the time, but it doesn't stop them, never did. So those things affected XRP as a general rule, most likely more than the legal issues have done. But the legal issues certainly have affected it. It being behind it and it being past it, I think what was it? It was over here that we saw that they'd come and they'd settled something, and then they'd had some other problem and it jumped back down. And maybe this rise and fall maybe was like a legal issue one. Maybe that one was, and you know, this one, and this one weren't, sort of thing. But to say that they don't would be a lie, because they do. It's just that when you're asking about this one, funnily enough, it just so happens to be that that if they were to resolve that legal issue with a sort of permanent resolution to it on some of these things, then maybe you know, a lot less of that sort of manipulation would occur in general. And then, you know, straight up answer would be yes. Good to see you, Corey. Good morning. Wake up, buddy. Wake up. I know you've already woken up. I can see you chatting in the chat. It's good to see you. Good morning, Corey. Bing bong. Good morning, everybody. So Newsland. Bit of a conflict over here. We see Wall Street stocks follow Europe lower ahead of ECB meeting. So the ECB are going to be talking about scaling back on their bond purchases. Scaling back on bond purchases means that things like interest rates might go up, means that equities might be more at risk, or might be relatively become change their risk profile. Might be that there's lots of different sorts of things. The liquidity supply, you know, reduces because the liquidity reduces, so there's less money in the system. So the demand for that excess liquidity increases the sort of the demand side part of the economics of the inflation and the interest rate equations, and all these sorts of things start happening when that happens, and it affects stocks. Now, Wall Street here, according to Financial Times, stock follows the Europe stocks, which dropped a bit and have done for the last few days, lower ahead of the ECB meeting. And I thought it was an interesting one because we also have the US opinion on it. Now, where is it at here? Because I've written it. You might spot it quicker than I do. Oh, right. Yeah, there we go. Stocks headed for fourth losing day on COVID economy jitters. So US people are looking at it and saying that it's the fourth losing day because of COVID, Delta fears, right? And then over here you've got other people who are saying that that it's following the European ECB bond thing. And it's just the point that I'm trying to make here really is that while news is useful, news is interpreted by people. And the people that are interpreting the news are so often people who, you know, did really well to get that job, to have that opportunity to interpret that news. Did really well. Really, really well. You know, went way beyond, some of these people went way beyond what they ever thought they could have ever achieved whenever they read, you know, a book in high school and got a D in English and all that, you know, that sort of thing. Or that they got an A in English, but they failed at economics. Or maybe, you know what, they were at school and they got A's in everything and they were super amazing, but it was all because it was book learning and they didn't really understand like real world stuff or whatever. Who knows, right? But what I'm basically saying is that journalists, even the very best journalists, are just people too, just like all of us. And they scramble around and they look for reasons to talk about things. Now, what kind of happens is that Somebody looks for a reason for something, and then the world follows, and you get a bunch of different news over it. For example, this one. Euro gains after the ECB says it will slow bond buying price. So the euros, this is Forex news. And this one's Forex is going to go up because, or is going up because the ECB said that they're going to stop buying bonds or slow their bonds buying. So do you see how there's this sort of like massive news world circle jerk that happens where one person is, of course, putting their news story I'll not describe it in detail what's actually, you know, the pragmatics of this circle jerk. But you get the idea. And it's and there's a lot of that going on anyway, right? So so this is a story which has got a lot of mixed body fluids in it at the minute. And I think that's kind of the best description for where the news is right now with regards to the economy. When things keep going up, you can keep writing crappy news stories and nobody will notice. When things start going down, you can keep writing crappy news stories and nobody will notice. But then somebody might. And somebody might notice when they're going up too. They might mention it. They might be called Rocky Outcrop. They might be here. Anyway, we do look at the news. We always disseminate this sort of stuff properly. It's not like I'm a complete, massive, walking, talking, ultra, you know, 6 foot cynic. What it is that I just kind of see things as they are. The ECB has changed its stance on bond buying. This does affect markets. I mean, I'm pretty sure that the American news story said equities on it though, so I've got the wrong one. Where's the it did not say equities, it said equities. Where's the word equities here? Am I being blind? I had it open, you know, I must have just click close the tab and I can't see it anymore. Regardless, there we have it. You know, it was that sort of it's that sort of thing, right? So anyway, I've got a great deal of respect for people who actually do go and put in the effort and do it well and all that, and I've got a great deal of respect for the industry and all the rest of it and what it does for. Except I also have a sort of healthy dose of cynicism and a healthy insight into how things really do actually go in this world. I mean, I've also run a magazine in the past myself, so I know how this works. And so it's always a mixed bag, right? So it's caveat emptor, buyer beware. The responsibility is on us to figure out stuff. Anyway, why the SEC cracking down on Coinbase could level the crypto playing field. I thought we'd finish off the news section today with a look at this one. We've got our friend, the Gollum, healthy Gollum in a suit. He's a white man. He's a white skinny man, a white Anglo-Saxon Protestant in America, here to help us all with his forward-thinking cryptocurrency stuff, technically, but not really. So SEC has the hands-off regulatory position of the US Securities and Exchange Commission has long taken when it comes to managing cryptocurrencies appears to be coming to an abrupt end. Hands-off regulatory position? Question there, a little bit of friction with the question we had just before from Generation 8 with regards to XRP and how it affects things. And we can do XRPTA and everything. Didn't mean to be like taking the piss, by the way, when I answered that question. It's definitely true. Definitely does affect things. Can affect things really massively. You can see this with all the other cryptocurrencies as well that have that sort of thing. I mean, Tezos had a little bit of a rise following on from settling all of its stuff. 10 after the hour, so we'll go through this one pretty quick. On Tuesday, Coinbase co-founder and CEO Brian Armstrong went public with the battle. He says that SEC has now picked with his company proposed lending product in a long thread on Twitter, and believe me, it was a long thread on Twitter. And we talked about this in the Discord, and I could have had this on the news channel yesterday, but I didn't bother. Armstrong chronicled his attempts to work with the SEC to explain how the company's customers would be able to earn interest on their crypto assets. Well, anyway, hard lines, Brian. Looks like the SEC shitting on you a wee bit. Maybe you shouldn't spend so much time shitting on your customers. Sort it all out. Stop being corrupt, and we'll move forward with things. You know, a little bit less corrupt. A little bit less corrupt, Brian. A little bit less corrupt. A little bit more trustworthy. And then I will... Brian Armstrong. Great guy. Fantastic guy. Not corrupt in any way. Moving on. Sorry, what did I say? Forget that. Allegedly. All of that stuff. Allegedly, and from my own personal experience, and that's all. Right, great, nice one. Guzman would probably be Hispanic rather than a wasp. Do you think so? But he dances the wasp dance anyway, regardless. I mean, if he's not a wasp, then he's one of those, you know, those invading wasp species. Or you know, there's these bees. Like it's like this big story that was going on. It's like you remember when all the hornets were getting attacked by like some other hornet from somewhere else. Remember that big news story from like 4, 5, 6, 10. At some point between whenever I was an adult and the age I am now, sometime in the last number of years, there was a story about that. It's kind of like that then. If he's not a wasp, a white Anglo-Saxon Protestant, then he's an invasionary species on the wasp that masquerades as a wasp, looks like a wasp, talks like a wasp, does everything like a wasp, and gets into the wasp's nests, and then acts like a wasp and is just basically as a wasp at that point. Natural friends, cheers, Rocky. Thanks for helping me learn to get the best price on my assets. Can you take a look at Theta for me? Thanks, buddy. Absolutely. 12 minutes past the hour. We'll be going around to take a look at the what you call it, stocks, GME, AMC, all that good stuff. Good to see you, by the way, Tony Picus. It's really good to see you. It's always good to see you, my friend Tony. Tony Picus. And let's see here. Rocky Outcrop, you legend. Mushroom. Thanks so much. Great. Okay. I don't know which hornets to root for. I know, Joe. I know. I don't know which hornets to root for either. I don't know either. Where did Noah keep a record of his bees? In the archives. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness, I am not a cat. You're just like, I don't know. Where do you get them? Where do you get them, eh? Where do you get them all from? Anyway, we're asked I want to just review that question that came in from Generation Ape. How does legal issues with affecting XRP, how does it impact the technical analysis? So, right, okay, sorry. I need to revisit this question just before we go away. How it impacts the technical analysis is it creates an event-based psychology factor with it. It creates a degree of enthusiasm which goes perhaps beyond the level of where the natural movements maybe would have taken the markets anyway. Now, that's not necessarily true. That's just kind of putting the answer in a way that people can kind of cogitate it, but that's your level 1 understanding. The level 2 understanding of it is that the markets were pretty much always going to go there anyway. It's just it happens a bit too quickly, and it creates an effect of like when you're putting a ladder against the wall, right? You want to have a ladder against the wall to climb to the top. Then you're going to want to have it at a decent enough angle, not incredibly flat so that you're walking, you know, for 20 years to get to the top of the ladder. But also, if you put it far too vertically, then when you put your weight on one side of it, even if it's kind of leaning towards the wall, that the process of you moving up as that leverage of your weight increases as you get higher, will eventually pull the ladder over could pull the ladder over. And that's essentially what we're looking at here. It was always going to go up in a way, but then it went there then and pulled back as a result. So you can find this sort of volatility, and you get this over the bigger piece, and you get movements which look more like this sort of a thing kind of happening. Now, whether or not any of these are necessarily legal event stories, etc., this same sort of thing happens as what would happen if you were actually as well manipulating the stock and dumping onto people. So it's the same thing, 2 for 1 on that one, right? So I hope. So I didn't want to give you a cheap answer to that question, man. So I tried to give you a better one there at the end. Thanks so much for that. Theta coming in here, looking like it could potentially have a death cross while the prices are right at the cross. So that's obviously negative. I don't like it. Now I've just spent some time talking about how big rises up can lead to big drops down, all that sort of stuff. And this is actually a component that we're seeing in across a lot of the cryptocurrencies in the market, really, is that they had a big rise up in January, etc. Now, I am still bullish on this one. I think that Theta's like platform and what it is really good. So I'm overall bullish on this one. It did come into the. That's the company called Theta. Sorry. Sorry, give me a second. It had a big rise up in January. I was looking at that and I was like, hold on a second, how do I reconcile this? And I was like, well, I'm still bullish on this one. I am still bullish on this one. Here's the big rise up that it had in January, right? And it was a very big rise up. And here's the drop down that it had. It is a different looking chart. But we came up towards our target in there at $9. Very, very good, right? Actually higher than essentially this is one of our big targets. Now, this is that question, and I kind of go back in a little bit to answer Generation Ape again here, is if to say, like, at certain times the markets will move to where they were always going to move to. But if they move there really quickly, then sometimes they drop back down again. You could maybe make this sort of argument with this. Now, it's not actually kind of really how it went, but we were kind of always going to go to this price point. We went there very, very strongly, very rapidly, and then dropped down again thereafter. There just wasn't that continued ability to keep going up. You know, this angle of this thing was like, oh my goodness, it's gone pure parabolic, and things can't move to the left on charts. So that's the kind of an issue. Now this happened in obviously all very suddenly at the time that the markets moved. We're really right here at the minute being supported by the 50 simple moving average, which is distinct from some of the other charts that we've looked at in the sense that they've perhaps had better recoveries than theta here. And if we did start to move towards the top side, of course we've got the 200 simple up above us, and that comes in on the 24-hour time frame as lining up with the median line of the Donchian channels in here. So that would be a 50% retrace between that high and this low. So that you know, that's where that is. But in terms of the lower term time frames and just kind of seeing where this has come from so far, this has had it's at 695. I'm bullish on this one. In fact, actually, tell you what, I got wiped out on that account. You know, I put on a trade, right? I got wiped out on the account because after we did the class there, I was like, oh yeah, and well, I'd messed around with it. 22 bucks in the account, longed theta, got it up to 40 bucks, and then I'd put in a trade on something else, near it was, wasn't it? And just to try and catch one of these moves, nothing massive. I just wanted to catch one of these sorts of moves or whatever, and forgot about it. Right, forgot about it. I mean, when I put the trades in at start, I was like, I'm not going to use risk management. Bit silly, but I forgot about it. So I was up at $39 at the end of that class after the Discord. I turned around to Jimmy. I was chatting. I was like, oh, I'm tired now. We could do with a wee bit of a rest and that. And he says, yeah, just close that. Just turn the computer off for now. And as soon as he said that, I thought, brilliant. I'm going to do that. Then in that moment, wiped my brain, forgot about it, and then 2 hours later, turned the computer on again to just see how, just because as I remembered, I was like, oh, wait a minute, what about that trade? And I looked down, and of course, I'd been liquidated by that point already. Whoopsie doopsie. So my $39 of margin turned to none. Oh, by the way, no tweets out today so far from GameStop or anything like that. Still just got those sort of not silly, but those tweets on. You can see up behind me as well at the minute. I've got that stuff there. Chat about the short squeezes and stuff like that. Which one's that here? Other information. Yeah. That's that thing. So I was just kind of still wondering what the outcome of that would all be. Obviously these things move slowly. What am I looking for here? Binance. Yeah, Binance. I was going to log into this thing again. So because I did that, I felt bad about it. So I had to fund the because it was just me kind of, you know, messing around in a sense. I had to fund the account myself to put money back into it to make up for the losses. So let me just see if I get my account open over here. Yeah. Right, so where is it? Where's the USDT? So there, it's in my fiat and spot account, of course. I stuck in like $100, yeah, after fees or whatever. So I put $100 back into this thing. It's 94 bucks. So yeah, cool. So this is one of the things that it's like I didn't want to. I'm not trading this. Thank you. You're no problem, man. I'm not trading this sort of proactively. Where's my this is just the channel account. I don't want to waste time on this thing in terms of my own life managing and a position size that's $20 when I've got other stuff to do in life, right? I think that's fair enough. But I also don't want to put on positions in this which are so big that it would be foolish and in that to not do it. And then I also don't want to use this as some sort of like breaking my own rules about trading and whatever. So this is a thing whereby if people want to be involved in it, they can tell me what they'd like for us to put trades on to. And Theta was one that we were going to do. Where is it? I thought it was. Oh, it's not. What we could do now. This is leveraged leveraged account, and you can do all sorts. I'm a bit disappointed in myself for having that ill discipline, you know, because it's not like me. I got into it for the channel's benefit. Yeah, I got into it down here at this low, and then I took $10 of the money that had gone up to like whatever it was, 40, 50, $60, something like that. It was going to be like a way, this is how you get 300% of your account thing. And then I don't know why, I just took some and decided that I'd go for one of those moves. Well, I do know why, because I had 2 hours spare and I planned on taking profit on it, and then I completely forgot and it went up again and it got wiped out. That's exactly what happened. So I wouldn't do this with, like, you know, my own this is my account in a way, but you know what I mean. So I wouldn't do that normally. Anyway, that's something that we can do. I could put a thing in here. So by the way, this is of course the futures thing, which is the futures, by the way, just is essentially a way of getting leverage, and it's handier when it comes to putting in your orders. As you can see over there, you get the full stop. Actually, can you see it? Just let me check here. You can see you get the full order form. Well, it's cropping it a wee bit at the right hand side, but you can see that there's a take profit and a stop loss button and stuff like that in there. So that's pretty cool. You know, oh, people chatting about parkour in there. That's cool. Parkour is parkour pretty cool. Got told all about it again by a friend of Jamie's recently, a friend of myself now, called Frank, who's a really cool guy. Where's the transfer button? So we can do so transfer. So this would be how you would get money into your futures account. So you can transfer it over. This is the sort of thing that's like can just do to familiarize people with it. So I'll stick $25 into that there, confirm, and we've got $25 that we could do trading with if we wanted to. Here's this thing here, and we're at that price now. I feel like we could be looking for you know, if I wanted to do this and just have a trade on that, I could get one obviously right now, but I'd rather it be a good trade for the channel account than to be just one that's kind of stuck in randomly. But here, you know, you can see various things in terms of how you would do things. So for me personally, right, if I'm trading normally, I manage risk, and with this account here, I'm not really likely to, you know, go and do the whole 2-factor authentication and go through all that process. If I'm out in the sunshine having a picnic with my family, I'm not going to be like, oh, sorry, I need to run away because I've got $20 on the line, and it might get reduced down a bit or whatever. I just have to say, well, I'm going to let that go, which is really, 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 really bad. Really bad to do stuff like that on a channel where people are learning and not be extremely verbose and that about the fact that that's really bad, right? So I need to make sure that you understand that's really bad. So if I was trading this here, I mean, I could think to myself that I would manage my risk with movements down below 666, all the sixes, right? I could manage movements down below that, but that's, you know, that would be to try and capitalize on the potential for a move up to 745 that we could be on the way to doing. We've not got massive amounts of volume in here. This could be a sort of inverted head and shoulders type of thing. It looks really disgusting, so I'd say it probably isn't. There's no bearish divergence on this little bit of a move up here towards that 50 simple. Meanwhile, it's all underneath the second high that we put in on that recovery phase. So really, it's just a lower high. If I jump this up to like a 12-hour time frame, you can see that so far all it is a lower high. We're at the 200 simple period moving average on that time frame, though, as it happens. 24-hour time frame, again, the 50 simple period moving average. 4-hour time frame, we're just below. So like we're right at this area, but could we get a better entry? Yes, we could. And for the purposes of this thing, then I'll put in an order here just to show you how you can put in an order at 66666, all the sixes. Where on the one hand, if I was trying to trade this rapidly here and now, that might be where I might have a stop, or it might be where I'd be managing risk gap somewhere below that area. Instead, I'm going to go just about where that stop would have been to try and put an order in to hopefully catch something on a dip, so I don't have to look at this account or whatever. But we can be. This is me kind of becoming more familiar with or not familiar, but familiarizing you more with the concepts of trading, etc. There. So I'll just put it so you can actually see the order form as I'm doing this thing. And over there, I'm going to type in 666. That's the price that I want to put an order in at this, right? Actually, starting off at the top here, you can see that you can choose your leverage, right? 20% leverage. What does that mean? Well, that means with a 5% move, I'd be wiped out. So 10% of that is, so about 30% move, that would wipe me out. I can't afford to have trades go 5% when the true range in this market is, you know, easily 5%. Also, you know, this is again, like, if I was trading this right now, I'd be tempted to try and run any momentum that there could be, if there is going to be any, up to that 750. But, you know, we're right here, and this is a profit taking zone, as it has been for the last couple of days. already. So for that, you know, that's right now. Anyway, I'll put it to a 10% move. Well, a 10%, 10x leverage, a 10% move would liquidate that trade, right? So that would be a movement of say from $7 down to $6.30. That would liquidate that. Getting in at 6.66, a movement from there down to $6 would liquidate it. So what does $6 look like on the chart over here as it happens? Is about down there. It's taken out that prior low. You know, that's where another stop would be. The risk on this trade is going to be $20 to me, and it's going to, and if it goes to $6, well then it's getting wiped the F out. Okay, so we're going to go with 10x on this one. So right, so we've done that top bit. I'm using cross leverage. That's as opposed to isolated. If I had various different positions, like last night when I thought I was using, or the other night when I thought I was using isolated margin is the other thing, and I forgot that I wasn't. I was using cross margin. Then the one that was losing would have been wiped out on its own, and my margin and equity in my other trade would have been protected because it was isolated. However, with the cross margin, it meant that the one that was going against me was able to go so far against me, it absorbed all of the gains of the trades that were doing well. Obviously, this affects your trade management dynamic, but I'm trading with all of the money in my account, right, in the trade anyway in the first instance, so it makes no difference to me which one I'm using right now. I'm going to leave it on cross. And I'm going to stick this easy handy button here, just going to stick that to 100%. That means all of the money in my account. So I'll be buying 37.8 theta. There we go. Now take profit on this one. Well, we already decided here, didn't we? 754. I can't remember if that was the exact price or not, but I'm not going to look into it anymore. Take profit 754. Take profit. Well, I want it to be a limit order, you fucking fan. Why would you want a market order in your take profit? It's so stupid. Anyway, lols. Thank goodness you can change that. You couldn't change that in the past. They've upgraded that system. Stop loss, right? So I'm going to have a market order, my stop loss, and the stop loss on this one, just because if I got wiped out at $6, then I'd lose the tiny fraction of the money that she'd get charged for being liquidated. So I'll just put this stop loss in at something like $6.07, right? No wait, but $6.04, just so it's 1 cent lower. Now I'm not 100% sure in the math of this off the top of my head. That's 9.4%, so you can see it's below 10%. So hopefully that works all right. Okie dokie, and then we can hit buy long. That would be putting in an order. This is a limit order. Okay, that's what that would be. I'm not a financial advisor. None of this is financial advice. This is not a trade that I'm recommending anybody takes at all whatsoever. Definitely not. This is just what we're doing inside this account, just to see if we can. And I'm talking about this very, very extensively about the fact that when I check on this over the next couple of days, there's a high chance that that money is completely and absolutely gone, and it's my money, and I'm choosing to do that with it if I want to. Okay, and that sort of thing, right? Yeah, sweet sound. So you hit the buy button. Missing main parameter. Oh wait, what's the main parameter? Oh, what the price of it? Wait a minute, what's the main parameter? Sorry, what? What am I missing? What am I missing? Missing main parameters. Sorry, what am I missing? Why am I being stupid here? Price. That's what price I want it at, right? Theta. That much of it. So I want that much of it. That take profit long, yeah. Wait, what? That yeah. Market, exit, reduce only, good till cancel, till buy new. What am I doing wrong? See the guy who I honestly got no idea what I'm doing wrong right now, so this is unusual for me. I want all of it. Take profit. So I'll just not bother with any of that actually for now, and I'll edit that afterwards because it's another way of showing you how you do that. Buy. Right, sound. So open orders. Can you edit on an open order? You can't edit on an open order. Right, cancel that one. So I'll cancel that. That's what 100%. Take profit. I want it to be at 754. I want it to be the last price. Take profit price limit. Take profit. Wait a minute. Oh, is that how much of it is to take profit? Is that what they're saying? Well, 100? What? Take profit price 7.54. Oh, take profit price is if it's a limit. Alright, whatever. Is that actually what it wants me to do there? Put in 37.5 because that's what I'm buying. All right, anyway, you have to figure this out some other time. Take profit, mark. Yeah, stop loss. Stop loss would be on all of it. I don't get that. Let's hit the order. The limit price can't be lower. Ah, right. So that's the price. All right, take profit price. God. Right. It can't be lower. What? Than the thingy, because that's the thingy. Aye, 754. There we go. Both of them at 754. There we go. That's what I needed to do. Right, sound. Cool. Anyway, enough of that. That was kind of boring after a while. Markets have opened. Gosh, took too long to do that. GME. Dynamite. GME. Out of sight. Wow, okay, so we started off today at the 50 simple period moving average. Crazy that. It's almost as if I spent so long talking about examples of things going to the 50 simple period moving average that that we could talk about it here afterwards. It's almost what that's like, which is pretty neat. I'm so scared of leverage. Well, you should be, because I'm talking about how you can lose all your money there. So why wouldn't you be scared of it? That sounds ridiculously scary. The way? Ape? Maybe. Natural friend. Thank you again, Rocky. This may be simple to some, but for me, you just taught me so much. Have a great day, pal. God bless America. Hey, heart us, fist pump. Nice one, man. That's quality. Glad this confused is not just me. Oh, I was confusing everybody, was I? I'm sorry. I was confused. Oh, we're talking about the thing there. Aye, because it's looking for what price it wants to trigger the limit order. So it's as opposed to a limit order. See, the thing about it is, right? This is a stop limit, and it needs to have these conditions in there. I don't want it to be a stop limit. I want it to be a take profit limit order that it puts in automatically on my behalf once it's done. That's what my first thinking was like, oh yeah, that's what I want. They've updated this. That's better. Except it's using a stop limit price. And to have a stop limit price, you need a trigger price and an execution price. And I didn't want to think about it all that much round. This is a take profit price, and that's the take profit. And it doesn't tell you which one is the trigger on this here, you know, and the two forms look the same. TP last, TP price limit, you know, it doesn't tell you which one is the trigger on that there. Now maybe it does if there's some sort of like little info button to hover over or whatever else, but that's what was going on there, and it makes you feel dyslexic when you're looking at it. 183 right now. See, as soon as we get back above 185, what do you think happens? What do you think happens when we get back above 185? Moving over to AMC over here. What are we doing? Oh, we're kicking about down here, right? So we did drop down yesterday as a result of that. If we were to go down towards this low, we'd be filling in this gap. We don't necessarily have to, but we could maybe try that if we wanted to. And that would be down at 44, what was it again? 44.22. That might be your best buy price. But so far today, we've had an all right start to the day, which is quite nice to see, to be honest with you. It's involved going up towards where a gap is, however. So I would be very, very cautious about this price action if it's not able to get above 47.47. If it only goes up as high as 47.16, or not even quite as high as that, then I'm looking down at that 44.24 or whatever it is price point that we were talking about down below, right? So that's what we were doing. Yo, Shepherd, wee, says TradeSpot. Shepherd says, yo, Reynaldo, boo. So that's cool. Seeing that. Rocky, effing amazing. Thanks so much. That's quality. God bless GMErica. Is it a silent G though? Is it like gnomes? Is it like God bless America? America. Is that what it is? Is that how GME is America, GMEREICA is supposed to be pronounced? I wonder. Answers on the back of a postcard. Let me just do a quick poll, in fact, to find out. Is the G in GMErica silent? Right? Yeah, no. Yes, no. There you go. There's your poll. Get your answers in now. How do you pronounce it? Is it GMErica or is it America with a G at the front that's silent? Rocky, we need to raid the Koreans. Oh, we need to raid the Koreans. Okay, cool. Let's do it. Let's do it. Oh, no. People are saying it's not. It's not silent. Okay, so it's not silent. It's not silent. Good to know. That's just a bit of fun, that poll. What's this? What's it again with the Koreans? Where are these Koreans? Where are they at? Where are they at? Oh, look at that handsome character. Oh, that's what you do when you see a video by TradeSpawn. You always hit that thumbs up button. Simple, simple, simple stuff. It's just an easy rule. An easy rule. In fact, when you're on the page as well, you just let the thing play out. You just let the thing play out. So we've got it, and I'm just going to take a new tab. I'm just going to take a new tab. I'm not even going to close that one. I'm not going to navigate away from this page. Not when it's opened up. This is autoplay. It's opened up one of my brother's videos. I'm not going to move away from that. I'm going to let that play later on. Oh, I duplicated it. I'm also going to let this one play later on. So you see, I've got myself in a corner there, but I'm not going to mess around with my brother's stats on YouTube. I'm not that type of guy. Right, so, oh, by the way, that was so good. I had the tiger standing up, rising the desk up at the same time. How good was that? Thanks, Reynaldo. You inspired that in me last night. What am I looking for over here? Came over here for a reason. Oh, aye, the Korean dude. The Korean dude. I can't type his name. It's his name. I can't type his name, but when it gets suggested to me on the thingy, then I do. Anyway, Jimmy, you're coming in a bit hot on that. We need to raid the Korean dude. Aye, but in an hour, right? So we'll not dive into that right away. Markets have only just opened up after all. So yeah, AMC so far unable to actually fill in that gap as it happens. In eToro, they have a feature called trailing stop loss. These are useful. They mention it uses 30 pips, if that makes sense. It absolutely does. Let's talk about trailing stop losses for a second here. You've got your price action. It's moving towards the top side. You went long in here, and you're looking to try and take profit, for example. Maybe you've not even got up to take profit, but somewhere up there, you're aware that we've moved past some areas of resistance, support and resistance, and you think to yourself, heck, if we move back down to this price, we could be moving down even further. I'm pretty confident we're going to keep going up. So what you want to do is you want to have a stop loss. And when the prices were down here, you wanted your stop loss to be here, didn't it? And then when the prices went up to there, you wanted your stop loss to be in at this range. And then when the prices went up to there, you wanted your stop loss to be in this place. But you couldn't really be bothered constantly jumping into your trading account to edit this one, to bring it up, to edit this one, to bring it up along the way. Well, one thing that you can do is you can use a trailing stop loss. Say that your price of your shares right now are 100 and that you have a trailing stop loss of 10. Then then your stop loss will be at 90. Okay, it'll be at 90, and then the prices of the shares are there at 100. Then if the price of the shares move down to 99, right, or whatever, then your stop loss will remain at 90. It'll still be at 90. If the price of the shares moves down to 98, then your stop loss will still be at 90. If the shares move down to 97, then your stop loss will still be at 90, as you can see here. But if you go up to 101, then your stop loss will become 91. 102, then your stop loss will become 92, and so on and so forth. Now there's little dynamics that can exist with this. 103, then your stop loss becomes 93, and then if the prices move to 102, your stop loss is 93. 101, your stop loss 93. You see, and then if the prices were to move up, then your stop loss gets dragged up with you. Now there's a danger here, for example. Now say you set this here and you thought, well, if the prices move down to here, be breaking support, and I want to stop out, and then the prices move up just a little bit more and dip down, then all of a sudden your stop loss is just here and it's at support above it, and you're thinking to yourself, oh gosh, that's not what I want. Dangers, right? It's not an ideal solution for every single instance of anything, but here's some other types of things that you might want to know. John Bollinger, who is the guy who invented the Bollinger Bands, he's still alive. Still alive. John Bollinger. There he is right there. He likes a trailing stop, right? He likes a trailing stop as well. His Twitter name, hey John. Is the trailing stop loss still your preferred risk management strategy for winning trades? There you go. Right, so that's that guy. That's an example of somebody who believes in them. There's a bit of information for you around the topic. How about that information that you get? Isn't it pretty neat? Oh, it certainly is. So, yeah, right, cool. Rocky needs a blackboard cam. Maybe I do. Come on. Come on. Come on. Almost there. Almost. Fresh. Fresh-faced and fancy-free. Is that? I don't know. Whatever. So, pip is the numerical value. Thanks. Oh, look, a pip can be different things, different amounts. What is a pip in Forex? What is a pip and what does it represent? Here we go. A pip, in short for percentage in point or price interest point, represents a tiny measure of the change in a currency pair in the Forex market. It can be measured in terms of the quote or in terms of the underlying currency. A pip is the standardized unit and is the smallest amount by which a currency quote can change. It is usually 0.0001 for US dollar related currencies. It is usually 0.0001 cents. This would be 10 cents, 1 cent, a tenth of a cent, a hundredth of a cent for US dollar related currency pairs, which is more commonly referred to as 1/100th of 1% or 1 basis point. Right? So this is basis points. That's a word you've heard before. Pip. Oh, the thingy by however many basis points. Ba 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 ba. Right? Okay. This standardized size helps protect investors from huge losses. For example, if a pip was 10 basis points, 1 pip change would cause greater volatility in currency thingies. Assume that we have a USD Euro contract, blah, 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 right? So you're seeing pips there. You can read all about this. Now, pips can be different sizes. What is a pip in equities? In short, percentage and point, that's the one that we just came from, right? Or is this different? This is the same one. So anyway, it depends. It will tell you on your thing what you're looking at. Pips in Forex pips are generally speaking about used in Forex, but of course eToro might just use the same terminology throughout their trading platform. Okie dokie. You can also talk about points and stuff like that as well. 45.92 on the AMC prices, down there at the Donchian channel basis line, looking like it could want to go in here and fill in this gap. So, I'm not going to be worried about prices at 44.28. Again, while I would be worried in a sense, I don't know, worried isn't the right word because you know me, I don't very much. Well, I might be very emotional when it comes to people falling out with each other on the Discord server and get, stuff like that. And in terms of human values, might be emotional. I might get emotional and talk about stuff like leprosy or whatever. But when it comes to this, I don't worry. I save my emotions for shit that matters to me. But I would sense that the worrying could occur, right? I would sense that the worrying could occur because in terms of this movement towards the downside, if you were to consider this area to be your fake out territory, here, simply, as opposed to this area here at the top, where I'm drawing it in from that lower low. If you're assuming your territory extends as low as that, then what you're doing is you've taken your measured move, and you've said, well, what you're doing, first off, you're suffering the vast majority of that move towards the downside just to say that's a fake out when that could be your breakout, right? That could be your breakout down there. Secondly, you'd have moved between that high to that low. What sort of amount of percentages? Don't look at this direction I'm drawing this in from. This is besides the point. You'd have moved down to here. Yeah, exactly. You'd have moved down 60%, just a bit. You'd have already moved over 60% from that high to this low in terms of the movement of this distance. 60% of this distance. Please, I drew that Fibonacci in right to left in order to measure this stick. It's not how you use Fibonacci. I used it to measure this stick. I had to draw it in right to left because the price action would be moving down the way here. I want to see where 60% of this thing would be at. And that would be where you're going to. And if you wanted to kind of think about this logically, Bulkowski rising wedge, the pattern site. Then you would be looking at a percentage meeting price target for up down breakouts, up 63, down breakout 32%. Now what that figure is what you do is you take your move and you do the measure rule. You use the measure rule, and then you find your potential breakout by times in the distance by the percentage of the percentage meeting price target, and that would be 32%. So you'd have actually have gone further than the thing. So I mean, you know, that's that there. It's quite a chunk, you know, in terms of like if it was 64%. I just talk about this, to be honest with you, I just talk about this as being 60%. But you can see how this particular angle and layout of this whole thing makes you think like that. Also, you'd be coming in for a tested 200 simple, and you would be looking for a turnaround and a bounce at that stage, but you'd be back at this zone. You know, you'd be back at this zone. So would I be worried in that stage? No, not at all. But I would actually happily be entering trades in that region with a view to manage my risk in case we drop down to 33. But that's how I'd be doing it. You know, you can look over here at where we had this low and where this last cross was, and kind of think about that as your risk management point of view. But I wouldn't be worried. I would be just kind of thinking to myself, well, hey, this is another edge at this time. I certainly wouldn't be wanting to kind of, you know, do all of that sort of work towards that downside myself in that situation, right? I don't know. Just trying to talk about the dynamic here. We could go in and fill in this gap. If we go down the way, I was just kind of wanting to wait and see how things go, because the fake out territory on this wedge is somewhat confusing, in the same sense as well that the fake out territory was the top side, etc. Because of the wedge, rising wedge, you can't use it like that. So that's why I was looking towards Fibonacci targets, etc., and stuff like that in the and other stuff like that to come up with these targets the other day for us, or yesterday. Did I come up with a better way of doing it yesterday as well? I did another better way of doing it yesterday. 2:49. We're doing all right on time sense. 49 after the hour. Twitter is a smart board. Okay. My upper back is F today. Adam, that's a shame. Gosh. Dry erase board is an insult, surely. Who cares what it's called? I'm more concerned about this potential arrest for using a word. That's how we start down this road. What's going on there? There's some good chat in there. My naked buy order just triggered. Thanks, Rocky. Oh, let's take a look at naked. Bow chicka wow wow. Naked. Bow chicka wow wow. Oh, hello. Well, I hope that trade goes very well for you, Mizzy. I hope that goes very well for you. Cool, excellent, sweet. So that's where we are with that one. And yeah, cool, excellent. So that's better value priced and higher up. Excellent stuff. What is it that I'm supposed to be looking at right now? Oh, GameStop. Pardon me. 185 is an area that we could have predicted the prices coming down to. We've come down there. We've tested certain regions, like, you know, this orangey line here, as it happens, you know, to the penny. So this is one of the reasons why people tune in sometimes like, bro, you've got too much on your chart. And I'm like, yeah, I know it looks like I've got too much on my chart, because this orange line that's down here at 178 when the prices are up here at 200 is just causing distractions to people, etc. But look at it. That's why I left it there. It was worth leaving it there. History has proven, time has proven that was worth doing. So that's what's happened. Being up above 185 is obviously quite good. It's quite bullish. It puts us towards that gap fill area. It's obviously that's what we were looking at for today. Sorry that I didn't give everybody constant updates. Volume at this point here is obviously not, like, you know, amazing, but it's pretty damn good so far in terms of how things have gone over the last couple of weeks. This is the only big volume that we've had for months. And looking back the way in terms of what we've got right now, if we look back, it's more volume than most of what we had in August. More volume than most of what we had in August. And going back, you know, so like this is the hourly candles. You can go back most of August, then a couple of outlier candles, etc. Couple of outlier candles. So we'll go back over here and you can see this is the sort of volume that we're having right here, right now. So stick a wee horizontal line in here so you can see I'm going to have to not change the resolution of the vertical layout of my chart as I go to the left here, which is kind of hard to do. But if I zoom out, you can see. So this is what we've had in this 1 hour's. You see, it changes the vertical. I have to make sure it doesn't change it. Right, there's the last point I can really do it up to. So you can see that that's volume's pretty good, going all the way back towards when we actually had, bigger volume over there in June compared to now. So it's not so bad, right? Not so bad. Earnings thing is flipped to a red, has it? That's hilarious. Wait a minute, 24-hour time frame. Why is it a red? I mean, it's a red, but it was a green. Wait a minute, is this the one? Oh, this was that. No, this is what? That's not what it said this morning on their chart. They've changed this. It was a green earnings thing they had. Wait a minute, is it? Am I blind? Is it this one that I was looking at this morning by accident? No. Was it? No. Maybe? No. No, I can't remember. I can't remember exactly what it was that I was looking at this morning, so maybe it was just always red. Somebody else will know anyway. Whatever. Earnings reports, yeah, dropped a wee bit. Sound. Some people were saying they thought that the prices would jump off the back of positive earnings in terms of some sort of surprise factor. Nobody expected them to actually be making a profit per share. The 76 is actually decent compared to the last one. It was, of course, standardized earnings this time. As reported estimate, they've only got 76.67. Over here, it was minus 45. Estimate was minus 82. So we're better than last time's estimate around and all the rest of it. Over here, estimate 135, 134, blah blah blah, whatever. So the red color of the earnings thing, it doesn't necessarily matter that much, and we've seen it before as well. It's analysts predicting shit. We're below 185 again. Like I say, 185. Want to be up above that on a decent sort of time frame basis. How are we getting on here with AMC then? Not seeing any sort of big requests coming in from anything else. Okay, so it's official, by the way. The G in GMErica is not silent. We have had the votes on that. There's the results for everybody. Similar here. Sold 30 AMC for more GME. I don't trust AMC like I do GME. Aye, cool, okay. It was red yesterday. So there we have it. 113 votes. 26% of people think that it would be silent, taking part in the yes side of that joke. 73% of people told us it's no joking matter. MMAT. What? Somebody wants to look at MMAT, do they? Let's have a look at MMAT. Is that what that is? MMAT. MMAT. This here is just what's happening on AMC. That's the daily time frame. So till such times as that ain't happening, that's what's happening. MMAT. Right. Though that gap's still down there, is kind of staring us in our fasticles. We're below the 200 simple period moving average on the 4-hour time frame. Come on. Managed to do that without too much divergence or anything. See, this is one of these anomalous times on the accumulation distribution. Do you see this here? This big spike towards the downside. While over here on the charts, that candle where that big spike towards the downside came in at was, of course, this candle right here, which opened up here as a gap up and rose up and down. So the distance between its high point of trading and its actual close was so large, and that is times by this volume candle over here, which is very large, and it creates this element on the accumulation distribution indicator. It gives you that kind of funny layout. So where you've got this at the peak. And it's interesting, right? It's interesting because it's true. Like, this shows us in a sense that that there was this big sort of distribution in that period of time. So coming down and filling in this gap, to me, I think is still no big deal. even if that it does represent a nearly 10% further move towards the downside from where we are just now. But at that stage, I want to see us getting supported, or else, you know, then I'm not interested, because we're looking down another chunk thereafter of another big chunk. So I don't want to see that. But right now, where we are, great. Being up above that 200 simple again, great. Having a breakaway move just here, great. This sort of simulate this move here gives enough kind of fuel to the larger accounts that they don't need to worry too much about the price about things. That never got filled in. Oh, there we go. People, this is it. We like doing this on the show. This is something that we do. Fuck. Okay, well, MMAT. Oh well, it is what it is. Right. So so yeah, right. This is a bit of a toughie. It's a bit of a toughie for me because it's a bit of a tough situation, right? Let's be aware of this going forward. So this is gonna be another test for us now. Again, right? I don't know. I'm developing this thing together. We're doing this together. This is an instance where the prices would have to drop nearly 50% to come down to this price target right here. So down 42, 43%. So so I would hesitate to recommend going long on this one. I don't really recommend anybody else anything ever. So I suppose there's that. I would be careful about this one with the with that prospect for us. If this happens, it's huge, right? If this happens, it's huge. If this happens, it's huge. So I'm not going to say that it's going to happen, because what we're doing here is coming up together with this thing. But if this happens, it's huge. And this is one of the big asks. The big asks of this thing. It's a huge... Wait a minute, it's the wrong... Sorry. Is my resolution just making this hard for me to see? Oh, no, wait. Okay, that's less of a big ask. Is it less of a big ask? It's the next candle over, isn't it? So, yeah, sorry. Whoops. Still a big ask, though. Still a big ask. What price point is that, though? In at around about 335. Right, so it's not a 50%, it's not a 40% move. It's 355. 355, right? That's what we'll go for instead. Right, still huge ask, okay? Look, right? Still, it's a big ask. To say that this is where the prices go to, like off of the back of one indicator on its own, is that where they'll go to? More or less. Is that possible? We're taking it here. This is being very specific in terms of how you would use this thing. It's going from the opening of the body here, and I'm lined that up so you can see. It says it's lined up at 335. Is that... Oh, I've got this wrong. 335. Gosh. Get it right, Rocky, eh? Wouldn't it be amazing on a green day to be talking about this? Now, it could happen at any time in the future, yada, yada, yada. We've not figured that out in terms of timing-wise aspects of this thing quite yet, but that's interesting, right? Interesting. I called open and first half hour of trading, as it happens. Again, good one. Nice one. Excellent. Jackson Hole 2022 is going to be huge. Get out of your hole, Jackson! Jackson Hole, the ski area. I hear it's fantastic there. Never been, but may someday. Interesting. Yeah, yes, I'm going to Grand Teton, says Carissa. That's cool. That's cool. Jackson Hole. Jackson Hole. Jackson Hole. Yay, I'm on a break. How's everyone doing? Doing good. Doing good. Doing good. The time is approximately 3 p.m. in the United Kingdom, and approximately 10 a.m. in the United States. We are looking at MMAT right now. I'm bullish on this thing in the sort of near term, near term, very short term. But I'm kind of bearish on this thing, looking to see, do we come back down to 465 and get a 10% move towards the downside here with a gap fill for us? Do we see that, or does that gap remain on the charts? I'm actually would be then also looking down towards 335 to see if this indicator thing happens. There's not a massive amount of stuff telling you that we go there. Let's see if there's any confluence with regards to Fibonacci retracements, just to see if this is a thing for us in terms of that. It'd be going and a retrace precisely to the 786 Fibonacci retracement zone. If that's your high to your low, and that's what you're looking at, we're talking about these things recently, then you'd have your high, your low, your high, your low. Anything up to around about wherever here doesn't really massively matter. And then you'd be looking at MMAT coming down. And I know it's not great. You'd be looking at it coming down to about 182, and then it would be going up. So let's just see. This is drawn in so far in advance. I mean, let's be very clear, right? Let's be very clear. We talked about harmonics and all the rest of it. This is breaking the rules of harmonics. We've not got this drawn in. This is ridiculous. This is ridiculous, right? This is ridiculous. But if we were to combine together, you know, my thing with this thing and look at where it could be going, then that would be where you'd be looking to for where this could go. Could you imagine this happened? Could you imagine this happened? Let's leave that on the charts for a while, for the next month or two, and see how that goes. All right, so this is the conversation. Anytime somebody asks us what's happening with MMAT, there'll be two conversations: what's happening with MMAT and whether or not MMAT's doing any of our chat. Those two conversations will be what we're looking to there with this one. Okay, so that's that one. Right, cool. Rocky Outcrop. Is that an extended bat? That would be a butterfly. And it's a bit wonky looking, but there you have it. So yeah. Yes. The 786, by the way, retracement point being the key fingerprint identifier for us on that one. Moving on, though, what else do we have? This would not be the company's fault, methinks. Wait, okay, 12 step. Wait, let's see how me's doing. 21 and me. No, 23 and me. 23 and me. Hey, 23 and me. Are you doing all right? You're doing all right, 23 and me. That's cool to see. So what were we looking at here in this one? Oh, yeah, if this could be an inverted head and shoulders. Oh, perfect. And then if this is happening like this, oh, yeah, perfect. And that would be your target up there. Oh, we covered all of this already. Oh, if we can get past the 50 simple moving average, that'd be sweet. By the way, if anybody did trade off the back of my analysis yesterday, just be aware that as the prices are up 5%, that you've absolutely got a good opportunity here to manage your risk accordingly. Let's just say that again. Just be aware that the price is now being up 5% from where they were yesterday when we talked about potential targets towards the top side, that you now have an opportunity to manage your risk accordingly, where it's such to manage your risk so that you can, you know, guarantee that you don't lose any money at all. You can guarantee yourself a return on this trade, a zero risk trade. That's right. Thanks everybody. You're welcome. Did John Bollinger get back to me yet? Nope, still no message from John Bollinger. Well, we'll keep checking. Nobody calls. Nobody does calls like that. No, nobody does calls like that. If this call pans out, Rocky should give up. Yeah. Chris, don't be sorry. It's as confusing as shit. That's why I made the course the way they made the course. It's confusing as shit. Okay, I'm outie. The whole calls. Goodbye, beautiful people. Love you. Mean it. See you later, Chris. Feed that squirrel some peanuts from me. I love your videos. Niels van de Graaf, can you check out Rublock? How do you spell it again? RKLB. LB. Rocket Lab. Oh, cool. You know, this is one of the ones we've not had. People have not asked for Rocket. Just, you know, whatever it is in ages. In ages. Wow, okay. Up so far. This is the logarithmic chart too. Down the way here, 953. Up highs 1512. High 1945. Bounced off near enough $20. I mean, what there's a correction happening quite possibly right now. Quite possibly. Near enough $20. Near enough $20. All-time lows right here, right before we went up. This has all happened. All of this, from the all-time low to the all-time high, has happened over the space of a couple of weeks. The all-time low to the all-time high went from 950 at its all-time low to $20 at its all-time high. 236 is at the edge of that gap. We could go in and fill it in, do a 382 Fibonacci retracement. 1479, best buy price. Well, that would be a good question there. Best buy price. Then, you know, if it doesn't go there, then maybe it goes here. These are this is the sorts of things that we need to kind of think about at this. You know, is the best buy price going to be one of these three areas, or is it like right here, having done all of this massive move up the way? Is it? We've just had a cross, but the price action where that cross happened was right at the cross. This is one of these things, right at the cross price action. So So this is the sort of thing that we talk about. If you want to know about that, I've got a video on my education playlist. It'll tell you all about price action when it comes in at the crosses, and all the rest of it. Right. I mean, that's kind of what I'd look to on that one for just now. But I'm not going to get into too much detail because it's 3:10. I'm having to. I'm going to have to get round to being able to tune out of the show, right? So if anybody else wants to have anything, so if anybody wants anything else, suggest it. If any of y'all want anything else to be taken a look at, be sure to get your comments in. I'll be tuning out in 20 minutes. The show will end in 20 minutes. That chat about having a sore back, that applies to me too. Oh, acid was taken, man. Your latest profile picture is real nice. Nice upgrade. Nice upgrade. Kitty Babes, that's what he's on, bud. Yeah, that's what I was on, or whatever. I don't know. Jiu-Jitsu. My broker just reverted my buy of naked. I'll have to complain. Apparently it glitched. Apparently it glitched. What broker was that, Mizzy? Might as well name and shame him. Name and shame him. So I've got this. I've got this. Got that to work through later on. Got that. That's like my equivalent of a Sudoku thing. If anybody was watching in the Discord in that last week, after the class the other night when I was sat there, I was twiddling with my hair and I braided it. Then I forgot that I did that. Man, I forgot that I had that trade on. Well, you see, what probably happened is that I was twiddling my hair, and then I looked at the charts. Then I realized that my trade had been liquidated. Then I forgot that I was twiddling my hair. And then that's when all that happened. So that's probably what that's all about. Yo, an error occurred apparently. So it bought, then refunded it. That's just bullshit. An error occurred. Oh, it's an error. It's an error. It's just an error. Don't worry, it'll work next time. See, next time whenever you're making a loss, it'll work fine. It'll work fine. It'll work fine. Like, oh, you bought the top. I know, no errors occurred. No, that was your one. That was your one. Don't it have been nice had there been an error on my Bitcoin trade the other day that got stopped out at 53,793. No, 973. No, 52,973. My thing got stopped out at. which was the very, very, very top on the market across all of the leveraged exchanges. Like every other exchange was like, oh, I'm going to go as high as 52,000. 52,700. I'm going as high as 52,800. Or I'm going as high as 52,900. Or I'm going as high as 52,850. And then there's my one. I'm going as high as 52,973. Bang onto his stop loss, and then I'm fucking off to $43,000 immediately. So yeah, that wasn't so great. We all have things, but you know, I genuinely feel that that's not so fun for you. IKR, I got it at 58.1 as well. So they're telling you that. And what you up at? What would you be up at the minute? 60. So you know, hey, look, there's still a chance that you get it. There's still a chance that it goes through and all the rest of it again. But and it could even drop down as far. Look, be aware it could go down to 56.92. I know it sucks, right? And all that. So anyway, right. Yeah, look, rising up. My back is tired, so I'm only staying on till 3:30. The thing about it is that if I oh shit, sorry, wrong screen. There's the charts. There's me laughing. There's the guy. I'm laughing at my guy, my parachuting guy that I drew in yesterday. Bollocks! I seem to be having a bit of a spot of ball there. How's this thing getting on? Yeah, I'm going to be tuning in at 3:30, right? So don't say I didn't tell you, because I've been talking about that now for like the last 4 minutes. My back's tired, but see if you don't stick with things. Like my back is tired right now, but this is the fitness zone. This is the fitness zone right here, right now. For me, standing up for a couple of hours is equivalent of exercise. That might be the equivalent of you going for a walk or whatever. Is me just kind of simply standing up, or maybe the equivalent of you doing some squats or whatever. Because I'm basically so unfit. So here I am standing up, kind of leaning on something from time to time, and this constitutes an exercise for me. And at this point here, I'm in that sort of like flagging territory where I really kind of feel like I need to sit down again. Like I really need to. It dominates my thoughts at the minute. So I will be tuning out in 15 minutes. You stood the whole time. Whip, great job. Yeah, thanks so much. It was what we did was I put on the song Reynaldo's version of Reynaldo's latest version of Diamond Hands, and then I put on afterwards Eye the Tiger, Rising Up, and then we rose the desk up and I stood up at the same time, and it was super inspirational, and everybody was like, fuck yeah, I'm jacked and stuff like that. Seriously, fuck that broker. Totally. Can you look at Phantom FTM? That's a cryptocurrency, isn't it? Yeah. Of course I can, mate. Of course I can. Oh, I was joking last night. I was joking, but only half joking. I think maybe one day a week at least I'll have to start not doing TA shows. I'll have to start doing that at least one day a week next week. Got 168 concurrent viewers right now, and it's great and everything. But there's easily, I mean, it could easily have 300 or 400 more viewers, I think, if I didn't do any TA, right? But if I pretended to do TA, so I think I might do that one day a week, pretend to do TA. So let's maybe practice this right now. Just practice this just now, if you don't mind. I had a trade on this, by the way. Can anybody guess where I got in on my trade? Yeah, I know, eh? It's nice. That was 10x. So we made it up, 10x. Nice. Actually, though, I didn't actually take profit at 10x. I took profit at 168. Anyhow, was it 168? Yeah, it was 168 I took profit at over here. As it happens on my trade, we went a bit higher. I was just practicing my non-TA for a second. The first thing is I've got these chopsticks on here. I would just kind of be like, there's only one touch on that top one, so it's pretty perfect for the non-TA TA. Yeah. Oh. Anyhow, this is pretty good. This chart's been pretty good. Yeah, one day a week this week I'll be doing it. I'll be doing non-TA. It's all fair and well to keep telling me, and for me to keep telling myself, that providing top quality content that actually educates people, gives real financial education experience, and actually delivers on the content for people, and that doing that is really great. And I'll keep doing it, Rocky. Just keep it up. It's really great. Just keep it up. And that, I mean, the fact of the matter is, I believe in myself, right? I believe in myself. I genuinely do believe myself. That's a fact. I genuinely believe myself. Nevertheless, I think that the only way for the channel to grow is if I actually stop putting out such good quality content and deliberately put out really bad content. Now, I'm fed up of being told by people stuff that about how to improve the channel when I'm doing really excellent already. Things like how Dragon Slayer was saying to me that I really need to do stuff in that better communication, and I need to have that to be professional for that professionalism to be there and whatever. And it's not, and that some people have say negative things about other YouTubers, etc. And that actually these people are quite knowledgeable and talented at what they do because they've got that communication thing. In the face of me inventing indicators on the chart, inventing them and bringing them to people, doing amazing price calls, delivering with commitment, being here at a regularly committed time slot, always here, never missing it, and then almost dying in July and coming back here and standing up for 2 hours to do my show. So yeah, I'm a bit fed up of that, and a bit fed up of the comparison. I deliberately tell people never to mention anybody else on any other YouTube channel around me at all that does anything to do with financial education in the world, unless there's somebody who I specifically endorse, or I'll ban you from the channel. I also then had a conversation with them. Anyway, I'm fed up of it, right? I don't need shit like that from anybody, and I'm gonna be doing non-TA for people for a while. Stally, mate, I think it was you that was asking about it. FTM, yeah, the 236 is down there $1. If you want to keep riding this wave, you totally can. I'm not going to tell anybody what to do with their money. If you were to consider taking profit in around about these regions, then you wouldn't be a million miles away from me, but you'd also be, let's face it, 10% further up in terms of what money you'd made than I had. But given that I got in there at under 18 cents, I probably didn't do too badly on my trade. So yeah, that would be kind of how I'd be looking at that one, right? I'm absolutely, I think, dude, PP jokes plus 1 hour a week, honest TA, and you'll blow up. Professionalism doesn't sell. Yeah, no, professionalism doesn't sell. And also this idea that me being a better communicator is probably the most preposterous thing that I've ever heard in my life, just because somebody's got a fucking problem about not being able to tune into the free class that I put on for free inside the Discord, which people were able to join for free for a year and a half, where I spend so much of my time communicating exclusively as what value that I bring to people, that for somebody to come along and say to me in any way, to suggest in any way at all that I would be able to improve my show in any way at all by simply having a better communication about when I'll do my extracurricular free activities, where essentially, let's be honest, the audience is there more for me than me for them in terms of the class, because the slots are full every time. So if 50 out of 50 people can arrive, then somebody not being able to make it there because they didn't get the communication isn't letting the overall aggregate down at all. And then they're published afterwards on Patreon afterwards, and it massively thing. So essentially, if I have one more conversation like that, then that person, who I have a great deal of respect for, honestly, is getting banned, right? I'm not kidding, right? Because I'm not having that conversation again. This is the last time. This is the last time that I have to stand here and tell people that I'm not having a conversation. I'm not getting trapped in this meta bullshit again. So don't bring it up anybody else on YouTube, in my surroundings, ever again, unless A, you know that I trust you personally with that type of conversation, and B, it's somebody who I've already endorsed, right? Anyway, yeah, that's basically, I'm going to skip off of this FTM one for just now. I suppose that's probably what you were looking for. I'm going to assume that was what you were looking for. I'm going to take a look at Tezos, because it's been a wee while since I've looked at Tezos. Good one, buddy. You doing all right? Where you at the minute? Oh, it's the wrong fucking thing. Where you at the minute? 487, fantastic. 420 if you want to stay high. It's what we talk about over here. 420 if you want to stay high. Where's the thing at? 430 at the minute on the 200 simple moving average. That's cool. Yeah. Look, so anyway, I'm not joking. At some point this week, I'll do non-TA. So let's just do a bit of that for now. It's going up. It's going up. It's going to go up. It's going to go up. It's going to go up. I don't care that it looks like what it looks like. I don't care what it looks like. I'm not going to do any. No, sorry, that's not. You can't say that. You can't say that and do no T. You can't actually even say it's going to go up. Literally, this is what I'm going to do. The end of the show, and from now till the end of the show, this is what I'm going to do at some point next week. This is going to get uncomfortable, by the way, because I'm not joking. This is what I'm going to do for at some point next week. If anybody wants me to stop doing this, then feel free to put a super chat in or anything else. But this is it, right? And just so that you don't all tune out, because you can get the joke, you know what's going to happen here. What's going to happen is at 30 minutes past, I'm going to do my reverse roll call, say thanks so much for tuning in and all the rest of it. Or else somebody's going to ask me to take a look at something and pay me to stop doing this, right? This is essentially what's going to happen at least one time a week next week for the entire show, for all 2 hours. All 2 hours, right? It's going to be this. So get ready. Practice coming up. See, a question came in for Swimming For Us. Said something about, what do you think about Markov chains for predicting price action? Markov chains for predicting price action. Well, 2 things. One, because we're still in today's mode, really, and I'm breaking the 4th wall, I'll tell you I don't know the answer to that. And 2, because I'm going to do what all the other YouTubers do, I'm going to say, Markov chains, pretty good, mate, pretty good. Not the sort, to be honest, it's not the sort of thing that I use all the time. But yeah, yeah, man, you can do it if it works for you. If it works for you, then you do that. If it works for you, then you do that. We could maybe make it a drink and stream jiu-jitsu guy. Oh, Kim, what I'm doing here is nothing. Literally nothing. Sorry, I'm going to do literally nothing. I'm going to try as hard as I can to do literally nothing. I need to practice it because it's very hard for me. This is it. This is the content that people want. Oh. Thanks, Swimmer For Us. Can't do that, Christy Christ. That's called entertainment. Can't do that. Thanks, Amber. It's really nice of you. It's really nice of you. I'm missing out on a token pet. You're right. Meatball's back. Got my pet back. We joke to people who were watching the show a month or two ago. Or a couple of months ago now. Yeah, I need pet food for my... I need money for my pet food. Hello? It might be. I don't know. I have to stand in front of the camera and do nothing for the next 5 minutes. Okay, hold on. I got to put you on loudspeaker because my phone's plugged into the computer. You can talk to people on my stream if you want to, but I'm not going to because I'm practicing doing nothing.
What? Well, it's an emergency. I need my back part. I don't know what you're doing.
I'm live streaming. No, it's not really. I'm in live stream. What do you know that I'm like? Look, it's not on the table. I have to go and look. All right. Now, okay, give me a minute here, and I'll look. Just hold on. No, I don't know where it is, man. It could be here, but I don't know. I'll go and look at. I'll go and look in that as well. Hold on. No. Oh, you're right. Okay, no problem. See it. Okay. Wait. Okay. Well, that was convenient that you decided to call when I wasn't doing anything anyway. How long have we got left of this show? Oh, a minute or two. Well, that's how it's going to go, right? That's how it's going to go at least once next month. At least once a week next week. For your pet meatball and your takeout, obviously. Thanks so much, Mizzy. That's really, really appreciated. Generation Ape, genius level 11 move. Whew. Right. First time here. Sorry you're not having a great day. God bless. No, I am. Jeremy, I am. I'm having a great day. I've got tired back. I'm having a great day. I've been standing up for the last 2 hours, and for me that makes me really, really tired. And I'm having a great day. I'm actually really happy right now. I'm sorry for having given that impression at all. No, it's just that for me to be able to grow this YouTube channel, I need to be able to learn how to do nothing. I know it sounds like I'm taking the piss, but I'm breaking the fourth wall over here by telling you the key that needs to be learned here, and it's true. And also, I would feel so bad about doing that for a whole show next week, or maybe even tomorrow. I don't know, but it'll happen. And when it happens, people will be like, "What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? Why is Rocky being like this?" And that. But you'll also notice that there'll be far more people watching. So I would appreciate it if the people in the chat didn't break the fourth wall for all the new people coming along. You know, that's all it is. That's why I'm trying to talk like this, because then next week when I'm doing this thing, nobody in the chat will spoil it for anybody that's new coming along, and then those new people who come along will get to watch better quality content. I mean, I stand up here and I talk for 2 hours or 2.5 hours, almost non-stop, easily hundreds of thousands of words. 100,000, I don't know, maybe not hundreds of thousands of words, thousands upon thousands of words, and high-level technical analysis every day, which is of the best quality that I've ever seen anywhere on the internet. Can we take a look at HYVE? No TA, just want to stare at it with you. No problem. HYVE. HYVE. Hope this is working. My stream maybe is broken. My stream broken. I hope my stream's not broken. I hope my stream's not broken. Yeah. Yeah. Hope my stream's not broken. It might be. If it is, I'm sorry. Okay. This might still be broken. I can't tell. Honestly, I can't tell. It seems like it might. If I hit the play button on my end, can I see? I'm back. Right. No idea. That might be working. I think it is working. In fact, I'm just gonna assume that it's working. Right. I'm gonna assume that it's working and crack on. Thanks for that. Yeah, you're all good. Oh, thanks everybody. Thank you. Right. Cool. Yeah. Sound. So we can start the chart here for 2 minutes. Bit more practice. Have to remember to occasionally take a drive from a vapor or something else. I need something to make it look like it, so that you know that the video hasn't actually broken when I stare at the charts for ages. So I need to have something, you know, whatever it is. So this is a good one. But there's all sorts that you can use. Cool. So we'll have a whole show of that. A whole show. I'm not joking. A whole show of that. Don't break the fourth wall. We want to have to trick all these people who haven't watched the show before to keep watching, because, you know, we need to do that, right? We need to do that at least once or twice. I'm fed up of it. I'm not joking. I put in more effort than I've ever seen anybody else put into what they do. It took me years. Right. So, Jen, wow, I'm cracking up. Maybe other viewers on YouTube want nothing, but most of us are here because we know you're a genius. I'll stand by until you're done with nothing, because the education you shared with us up to now is priceless. Thank you, Jen. It won't be like that all the time. It's just something that I'll do from time to time to kind of pull in new viewers, right? I'm fed up. I'm fed up of watching. I'm fed up of it. I think we're all fed up of it. We're all fed up. We're all fed up of it. Everybody that's here right now is fed up of that. And Dragon Slayer's comments with regards to me needing to communicate more has really brought home to me how much I need to communicate less. His comments about how if I communicated more, it'd be more professional, and then his comparison with the likes of young YouTubers out there. It brought home so dramatically, powerfully for me how I need to communicate less if I want to be more professional, and I need to be less professional to be more professional. That my attempts all the time to improve the show with regards to being more and more professional and delivering better and better content all the time need to stop right now. That's what he's telling me. He doesn't realize it, but that's what he's telling me. So there'll be less communication from me in general from now on, and that will make it so that there's a perceived increase in professionalism. There'll be less professionalism from me with an increased perceived professionalism, but that just for just like 1 day a week, every couple of weeks or whatever, you know, until such times that I get used to it. The genius level TA is never going away. It's never going anywhere. Anytime anybody asks me to do something, I'm so stricken by compassion for other people and for a genuine desire for the people here who tune in to have improved lives, because every single last one of you watching has got a complete and full life and has got as much she deserves as much respect from me as I can possibly muster. So every time I do that, I try and bring it 100%. But you know, in order for us to achieve anything here, I need to do at least 1 day every so often where I don't do anything. And when that's happening, I'm going to be really appreciative of everybody that's in here who just, you know, talk like you talk in everybody else's threads and stuff. And now you don't watch everybody else on YouTube, you know, that doesn't apply to you. But if you watch anybody else on YouTube at all, just do what you do in those ones, right? I'm not talking about if you watch TradeSpot either, because that doesn't count. If you watch any of these young YouTubers on YouTube, just do that. You know, if you ever watch PiFi, for example, and a lot of people here do, a lot of people watch PiFi, just act how you act in PiFi's chat, you know, just act like that for a while, and just it'd be so good, right? Because then the channel will grow, and all I need to do is communicate less and do worse job of everything that I do. So I'm going to do a really bad job one day a week for the growth of the channel, and everybody's good. Okay, thank you so much to Jen Campbell. Thank you so much to Sarah Restaino. Thank you so much to Acid Was Taken. Thank you so much to Acid. Thank you so much to Generation Ape. Thank you so much to Jeremy Zeher. Thank you so much to Dan Lesage. Thank you so much to Feisty Goats. Thank you so much to Kim. Thank you so much to Christy. Really, really, really thank you very much. Thank you so much to Shikar Bajrachaira. Damn it. Thank you so much to Sarah. Just Sarah. Who's Sarah? Thank you, Sarah. That's really appreciated. Sarah, thank you. That might be, there's a few Sarahs. Thank you, Sarah. So that Jiu-Jitsu guy. Thank you, that Jiu-Jitsu guy. Thank you, Dan Lesage. Thank you, Chris Sweeney. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you, Natural Friend. Thank you so much. Thank you for Natural Friend again. Natural Friend again. Thank you so much. Generation Ape. Thank you so much. Dan Lesage. Thank you so much. Amber. Thank you so much. West Coast Banana Freeshi. Thank you so much. Can you tell us the downside to GME issuing a small dividend other than spending cash? Not really. Sorry, I missed your question earlier on, but there aren't many downsides to it, just other than the fact that they would have to then keep doing it always, or else now they're not doing it. So any positive that you get gets equally removed on the time that you stop. That's the downside. Dover Mamba, 3 hours ago, you upgraded your Patreon to $25. Thank you so much. Sean S subscribed earlier. Everybody else has subscribed. Thank you as well so much. I'm going to go right now. I really do appreciate it. Really do appreciate all of you for tuning in massively. Electro Boy, Jiu-Jitsu Guy, Trade Spotting, Ashley. Ashley earlier on said you got the nicest garden. Hope you had a laugh at that. Brett, Katie Babes, Banana Frige, Paul B, Stonkowski. Homer Simpson introduced you last night to Reynaldo Moreno, and that was lovely. I'm going to stick Reynaldo Moreno on here for a second and grab my chair and all that good stuff and listen to him as well. I'm going to sit down. At the end of the show has arrived. Thank you so much, Space Monkey. You're very professional. I know I am. I'm the most professional YouTuber that is out there in the financial field. I know I am. It's insulting beyond belief to have to listen to people talk shite. But I do it anyway. Oh. That's better.
Love. Now we're gonna do this shit.
Oops. The speaker went off because it timed out. By the way, for people who don't understand, if people are going to be out there comparing me to other YouTubers, then I'm going to give you a point of comparison. Because all I hear is people saying stuff like, Rocky Outcrop, he's the best TA on YouTube. Or whatever. It's like, very good. I mean, that's accurate. But by the same token, am I not the only one? One of the only ones? Am I not one of the only ones? I mean, if you're going to be saying that, you're implicitly grouping me in with other people just by saying that sort of stuff. I mean, I say it too myself, right? So I'm not blaming anybody here. Just saying that, like... and it's a bit unfair that there's no points of comparison. You know, nobody else puts in the effort that I put in. Mine's intense. I put in intense effort. I actually get physically drained doing my episodes here. I try my fucking hardest every fucking time I try to bring it. Every fucking time I try and bring it as much as I possibly can. So it's about time, I think, then, that some people saw what it's like if I don't. And we'll do that together. Whoops. Sorry, you're getting to listen to the music without me again. Just so that you know, right? So just so you know, people will be like to me saying, what these other so-called professional YouTubers be doing with their live streams. Well, we'll see then in that case. We'll see. And that means as well, like, that, yeah, it means all sorts of stuff. We'll see. We'll see. Literally, you asked for it. And then people will actually see me for who I am. And I know a lot of you out there already do, and this is not a comment for any of you. But anybody who doesn't see me for who I am, well, that'll be good, won't it? Love this guy. His energy last night was super positive. He's always so positive. I love him so much. I'm going to be as positive as this. Maybe what tomorrow I'll do is I'll focus on being super positive and think about those ideas for next week. Anyway, I love this guy. I'm going to enjoy watching this. And when this song's over, I'm going to hit end stream. You can stay if you'd like. Thanks so much.
You've got your mind made up. I ain't nothing to see. I got you wondering why I'm smiling, looking like I'm dumb on knee. Said I've earned my chips. I screamed in pain, all the while fighting your denial, like I don't have a seat at the game. I guess I'm deranged, but I'm gonna hold. I've been down much longer than you have been gone. Keep on paying no mind, I'm setting up mine. You best believe I know my hands are diamond. Our future is shining. Yeah, my hands are diamond. Yeah, never bet against me. Don't do it. Don't do it. 'Cause all that money you spend to hedge your bet, but your mistake is my take from a play against your greed. Yes, I know you tried and conspired your degenerate ways on full display. It's a shame how foolhardy. I guess I'm deranged, but I'm gonna hold. Tick tock. I've been down much longer than you have been gone. I ain't scared of shit. Keep on throwing chips in. You know in the end, this hand's deeper than your money. Ooh, my hands are diamond. Yeah. Our future is shining. Yeah. My hands are diamond. Every day, every day. My hands are diamond. Every day, every day. My hands are diamond. Every day, every day. My hands are diamond. Every day. I sing, you know, my hands are diamond. never bet against me. I guess I'm deranged, but I'm gonna hold. I'm out to I don't know if you can see. Good. I lost in that a little bit. Screw it, I'm gonna do it now. It's not in the set, but I want to do it since it's fresh in my head. Happy birthday, Jamie. I'll do it here. Wish me luck. I started to work on the cool guitar parts. I don't know if you can see the changes that come over me. In last days, I've been afraid that I might drift away. Been telling stories and singing songs and make me think of where I am from. And that's the reason why I seem so far away today. So let me tell you that I love you, and I think about you all the time. Caledonia, you're calling me, now I'm going home. If I should become a stranger, know that it would make me more than sad. Caledonia's been everything I've ever had. Now I am old, and I keep on moving, proving the points that I need proving. Lost the friends that I needed losing, found others along the way. This is my favorite part. I've kissed the ladies and left them crying, stolen dreams, yeah, there's no denying. I've traveled hard with some conscience of flying somewhere with the wind. So let me tell you that I love you, and I think about you all the time. Caledonia, you're calling me, now I'm going home. Shit, my bad. If I should become a stranger, know that it would make me more than sad. Caledonia's been everything I ever had. I'm gonna get that part down eventually. Now I'm sitting here before the fire, the empty room and a forest choir. The flames that couldn't get any higher have withered, now they're gone. But I'm steady thinking that my way is clear, and I don't know what I will do tomorrow. When hands have shaken and the kisses have flown, and I will disappear. Let me tell you that I love you, and I think about you all the time. Caledonia, you're calling me, now I'm going home. But if I should become a stranger, know that it would make me more than sad. Caledonia's been everything about you all the time. Caledonia, you're calling me, now I'm going home. If I should become a stranger, know that it would make me more than sad. Caledonia's been everything I've ever had. Caledonia's been everything I've ever had. Caledonia's been everything I've ever had. Thank you. That's brand spanking new. I got to work on all of that parts, but that.
You did a good job. You did a really good job. Look, by the way, everybody, really do appreciate it. I'm looking forward to getting towards 20,000 subscribers. I'm going to do that in no small part by at least once a week, sitting here and doing absolutely nothing. Looking forward to it. Don't ever talk to me about what professionalism is unless you're a professional yourself. There's very few people who I would trust who could instigate a conversation with me like that. And I'm already having those conversations with people. I constantly improve. I improve all the time. The very fact that I'm here standing up for 2 hours in a row